So what is the deal with cardio versus strength training if fat loss is a goal? Now, by the way, back up real quick. How do you know if fat loss is a goal? If you know you want to lose some excess body fat, or if you want to tone up. So fat loss is a goal for people even if weight loss is not. So there are some people who are like, I don't want to lose weight necessarily, but I feel like I'm not toned enough. I feel like I'm not, I'm a little too flabby. What they actually want is they don't want to get too thin, they're saying, but they want to build up some muscle and lose some body fat. So basically we're going to make a swap. You can't take fat and turn it into muscle, but you can lose body fat and simultaneously build muscle. So basically the scale doesn't have to move at all or all that much, and you are changing your body composition. So those are the people who have fat loss goals. So cardio is amazing, and I don't want to discourage you from doing it because it has its place, it has its benefits, and almost all of those benefits are really for general health and longevity and mental health, stress relief, that type of thing, getting you outside, getting you in the fresh air, getting you in the sunshine. It's amazing for those things, but it should not be the foundation of your fat loss exercise plan because it's just not nearly as effective. And I want you to have the biggest bang for your buck. The biggest bang for your buck is going to be strength training. This is working out, not going through the motions. If just because you have a weight in your hand doesn't mean that you can call it strength training. I have people who tell me that they do the Peloton workouts with 2-pound dumbbells. For most people watching this video, that is not going to be strength training. For people who the 2-pound weight is very hard to lift, it's very heavy for them, those are the people who you can count that as strength training. Point being, it has to be very challenging for your muscles to complete what you're trying to do in order for it to count as strength training. So this also means that you have to make this more challenging over time, because let's say you work up to being able to do 10 push-ups at a time, and then you're doing 10 push-ups, a couple times a week. A few weeks later, 10 push-ups is not going to deliver the same type of input telling your body that it needs to adapt and grow and change that it used to. So now you might need to do 12 push-ups in order to get that same effect, or you might need to add some resistance on top of your back as you do a push-up to add that challenge, right? There's lots of different ways to progressively overload. I've talked about it before. I'll talk about it again in the future, but this is not the video for that. So progressive overloading strength training. In other words, challenging strength training that's really telling your muscles to adapt and grow is the biggest bang for your buck for fat loss when it comes to exercise. Now, since this is one of those things that I can say it 100 times, and usually there are still people that don't want to unlearn what they already learned, that's not true, I'm gonna say this again in a different way. If fat loss is your goal, your biggest goal, and you are spending more time every week doing cardio than you are doing challenging strength training sessions, you are not being as effective as you can be. All right? So strength training needs to be the foundation, and then work your cardio in on top of that, because it's great for us. We should be moving, we should be walking, hiking, do your yoga, do your Pilates, do all those things that you enjoy, that you love. But challenging strength training needs to be the foundation, at least 2 to 4 days a week or so. So how did this even happen that cardio became touted as the thing to do for fat loss and strength training wasn't even part of the picture for the longest time? Well, during the actual workout session, so during your, let's say, 30 minutes of cardio or 30 minutes of strength training, typically you're burning more calories, using more fuel during that cardio session. Not always, but typically. And that's what everyone looked at. That was it. Okay, so if you're gonna burn 150 calories during this 30 minutes of cardio, but only 100 calories during 30 minutes of strength training, we're gonna pick the one with the biggest calorie burn, and that's it. But 50 calories, that doesn't make a whole lot of difference over the course of a day, right? What was neglected for the longest time is that then your cardio session is over and that's it. You're not burning any extra calories throughout the day after that point. However, when you work out to put on muscle, as you do in effective strength training, you are burning more calories all day long, even at rest. So it doesn't matter that your workout session was only 30 minutes, an hour, whatever. The time spent working out, that doesn't matter. It's the efficacy of your workout. But when you're putting on muscle, when you're playing the long game, and I hope you are playing the long game, then slowly you're gonna be putting on muscle, because we can't do that fast. And that extra muscle mass is going to help you burn more calories even when you're doing absolutely nothing. When you're being a sloth on the couch, you're burning more calories simply because you have more muscle mass on your body. Some other benefits of strength training that are going to play right into your goals are going to be that there is a lot of stress relief that comes from it. The endorphins, feeling like a that's going to help you make better decisions throughout the day too. Decisions that are going to further lead you towards the goals that you want to achieve. Another thing is that you're going to feel like you look better in your clothes, that you look better naked, because you're not just burning fat, you're also creating something, you're building something, you're building strength, you're going to start to notice definition, and you're going to see the results of your hard work, and that feels really good. And another important result that comes from effective strength training is that you have more metabolic flexibility. Your portion's going to be a little bit bigger, you can have more carbohydrates without it spiking up your blood sugar too high and coming crashing down and then dealing with the cravings and getting hangry all the time, because your muscles act like dry sponges that soak up extra sugar out of your bloodstream. So basically you're making more room for that sugar or those carbs to have a place to go when you have more muscle mass. You don't need to look like a bodybuilder, but just having a little bit more muscle makes a big difference. So, have I convinced you yet? Add strength training. It doesn't matter how long. It doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't have to be 45 minutes. A lot of times my workouts are 20, 30 minutes if I have to squeeze it in. And then the most important thing is that you are effective, that you are challenging your muscles, that you feel that it's hard to complete the last few reps of your last set at the very least. If you have no place to start and you don't have a workout routine that is tailored specifically towards you, do anything. You can go on YouTube and find some free workouts. You can use the free workouts that I provide here. I have a highlight sections for different body parts, so feel free to steal my workouts and use them, tailor them towards, the equipment you have and your level. And make sure you're on my newsletter list, because I'm going to be sharing out next week a few examples of how you could piece together workouts so it's not taking you all day, but you're still getting all the important components of exercise and movement in throughout your week.